guys, I'm Claire from My Heart Maggie, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this birthday card using the first edition Bloom and Wonder. I'm going to have a flick through of the paper pad designs. Let's go! So today I'm going to be crafting with Bloom and Wonder by First Edition. First Edition is a brand of Trimcraft, and if you've never seen a first edition paper pad before, you are in for a treat. So this is the 12x12 paper pad. It also comes in 8x8 and 6x6. So in this pad you get 48 sheets, you get 3 sheets of 16 designs. It's printed with soy ink. It's also FFC, you can see in the bottom corner the mark there. So if you've not heard of FFC before, that stands for the Forest Stewardship Council, and they're basically a non-profit organisation that is responsible for the management of the world's forests. So it's kind of setting that high standard of responsible sourcing of paper. The paper pad is also acid and lignin free, so that means if you're doing some kind of archival scrapbooking or you want your project to last a long time, these papers will not damage any of your photographs, and it also will stay as good as the day you got it. Like, newspaper has lignin in it, and that is what turns it brown and brittle, but they take the lignin out, so your papers will always look as fresh as the day you get them out of the pack. It's 200 GSM, so it's a really good weight paper. It's good for home decor, it's good for card making, scrapbooking, pretty much the perfect weight for any of your craft projects. This one here, you can't really see, but all the paper pads have different effects on them. So this one has 1 pearlescent design, 2 glittered designs, 2 spot UV designs. UV is kind of like the glossy glaze that they put onto the design, so it gives it a bit of a shine. And half the papers in the pack are double-sided, so I'll give you a flick through the paper pad so you can just have a look at the designs quickly. So this is the first paper pad. It's just beautiful, and if you can see, you might not be able to pick it up on the paper pad, but it's got a pearlescent shimmer to it, so it's a really lovely kind of subtle shimmer, but this is a really beautiful watercolour design. The back of the paper pad is also shimmery as well, so you could just use that on its own and use it to matte and stuff, but this paper design is so beautiful, you'll definitely be wanting to use that. Then we've got the moths, and again, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but on the moths there is a UV design, so you can see that they kind of have like a glossy shimmer to them. I love that design. Here are your tags page, so we always try and put kind of tag pages in that you can cut out, so you can use it as a centre of your card, you can use it as sentiment on your card, you can mat and layer them, and it's just a really nice way to get the designs from the paper pad. This peacock is just beautiful. If you go to Louise Tyler's Instagram, you can actually see photos of her painting it. She paints everything by hand and then it gets digitised, so she's so talented. Here is the peacock page, another beautiful, beautiful page, and this has glitter on it. So it has glitter on the peacock tail, in the roses, and then on these little marks on the page. And this pink is just amazing. I love this pink colour. Here we have some peacock feathers. This has got glitter on again, so you get the really nice effect. It kind of makes it really easy to craft with because you don't have to add anything else to this paper pad. It really is like stunning and just hold up on its own. Here is kind of like a close-up of kind of like the peacock feathers, and it's in greens and pinks and blues. A really kind of like hand-painted abstract design, really nice for matting and layering. Here we have kind of like a coral chevron kind of design, so that will be a really nice background design. Oh, I think this has to be one of my favourites in the paper pad. It's just a hand-painted full bloom kind of rose. It's got all the foliage in there as well. Absolutely beautiful. Here we have something a bit different in the paper pad, so those people that like monochrome, you've kind of got your kind of almost looks like pencil sketches. You can really see all the different marks in the paper pad that she's made. really beautiful. And then we get into the double-sided. So if I turn this over, you can see kind of like a really abstract leopard print. I absolutely love leopard print design. Oh, so this is just one of my favourites. Here you've kind of got a green abstract polka, really beautiful green colour. And what's on the back of here? This is just, I have to show you this paper. This is my favourite paper I think I've ever seen Louise Tyler design. It's just, the colours are beautiful, you can really see the brush strokes, the flowers are just so delicate but also quite deconstructed, and the hearts and that purple kind of bluey background. It's just my favourite paper I think she's ever designed, and I would definitely use that in some of my crafts. Here we've got a stripe with kind of stars in there as well. It kind of almost looks like a gold finish. And then on the back you've got this really cool kind of terrazzo kind of dash mark making print on this, again, this really beautiful lilac background. Another leopard print design in orange on grey, so that's a really cool colour combination there. It's really striking but also very usable. On the back of here you've got a stripe spot combo in grey, orange and green. Again, that colour combination is really unique but it just works so well together. Then we've got kind of a triangle abstract, kind of a little bit Aztec print here in this really kind of fresh green colour. On the back of that we've got a coral foliage print there. Then we've got this really nice pink circular mark making design again. On the back of that is a floral foliage with the moths and the dashes. And then we've got another stripe which is kind of a reverse of the other grey stripe. So you've got your kind of navy, your coral and a green colour. These colours are perfect for spring. This is such a cool paper pad. On the back of here you've got a really dark background with some really bright kind of florals and foliage, so really different kind of look there. Then we've got a pinky pastel background with they almost look kind of like poppies almost, and then you've got the foliage in there. And then the last paper is the moth paper again. So moths are really on trend at the moment. Kind of the butterfly was really popular for quite a while, but kind of the moth is kind of coming into its own at the moment. And then the back of the paper pad is kind of a bio about Louise, and then you've got some elements, but don't overlook these elements. Once you've used your paper pad, you can die cut these out into shapes and you can use those. You can take elements from the cover of the paper pad, so you could cut this out as a sentiment, mount it on your cards. You can cut strips from your cover. You can die cut the different sections out and use them as toppers. So there's a lot of elements that you can use in this paper pad. So I'm going to make a card with it today, and I'm going to make a card for an 80th birthday. So I'm just going to start making the card. You can craft along with me, and then every so often I'll stop the video and I'll kind of tell you what I'm using or what I'm doing. But yeah, I hope you enjoy following me on this little craft. So the papers I've chosen to use are, I'm going to use the topper page, this really beautiful floral, the pink dashes just as a background colour, and then this really cool leopard print. I know it's an 80th birthday card, but the lady I'm making it for is really trendy, and just because she's older doesn't mean that it has to be kind of old fashioned. So I'm really looking forward to using these papers. So I'm going to start off with a 5x7 card blank. This is a Dovecraft one. You can pick these up from quite a lot of places like The Range. I'm quite lazy when it comes to mat and layering my layers. I'm a little bit dash with it. So I generally use the card as my dimensions and then trim a little bit off either side and then just layer, because I think you could spend loads of time measuring it all out, but at the end of the day I think you still get the same effect. So I'm just gonna go for it. So I will start making this card. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like at the moment, so I'll just speed it up and you can kind of craft along with me and we'll just see what we get at the end. So basically when I do my layers on a card, what I like to do is I just line the card up on the mat, loosely draw around it with a pencil to get the shape, and then I will grab my paper trimmer. So I use a viscous paper trimmer. Basically I just, on my paper trimmer, there's a line here and then there's grids. So what I would do is I will put my line, I'll show you, put my paper line, that's the cut line there. So what I would do is I will move it up slightly to the next line up on my paper trimmer, and I know that that is about 5mm, and then I'll put it down, do my cut. Save all your offcuts as well, because you never know when you'll use them for scraps. And the good thing with a 12x12 is they always get a lot of leftover paper, so you can use them on quite a lot of projects. So you can probably see better here now. So this is the cut line, this is the next line up that'll give me a 5mm. I think it's a centimetre actually. Yeah, no, it is a centimetre. So that'll give me, if I move it up a centimetre, it'll give me a 5mm border all around the edge. So that is the effect that I'm going for. So then I'll cut again, save my scraps. And then when I put it on the card, you can see it gives me a natural 5mm border all around the edge. And then if I want to make another layer, I'll use this as my background, and then I'll just trim that down. And it's a really quick and easy way of getting a really nice layer around the edge of your card, but without faffing around with all the diameters and stuff like that. So I think if you are new to card making and you think, oh, I would really like to make some cards, but oh, it looks like you've got a lot of equipment to get, that's not the case. Like, you can start off with a paper trimmer and some papers and some tape, and you can pretty much make as many projects as you like with that. You don't need to start off with a lot of equipment, just slowly build it up. The good thing about Dovecraft products is that they are very reasonably priced, so you don't have to spend a lot of money. Have a look for stores that have sales on, and just see what's around really. So I have my first two layers, so I'm just going to stick those down. Sometimes I build up my card until I'm happy with it, but then sometimes I know what I want to do, so I just kind of stick it down. I'm going to use Dovecraft Easy Fix tape. So this is really good for crafters. You can get this from the range as well. It's a really popular glue from Trimcraft. So the really good thing about this tape is that you can tear it without scissors. So you basically line up where you want and it just rips. So it's so fast at gluing, and you get a lot of tape for your money actually. I think these are only about $1.50, and you get a lot of tape on here. So you just go around your card, stick down your layers, and then you just peel off the tape. Just come off quite easy actually. Just get your nail under the top, she says. Just get your nail under, peel off the top layer. And then the most important thing is making sure that you line up. There's so many times I've gone to line up my card with my card base and you stick it on a wonky angle or something. So just give yourself time. On the Trimcraft blog, one of the members, May, she always said that she runs a little bit of glue over her double-sided tape before she sticks it down, because it just gives you a few more minutes to position your card. And I've always remembered that and thought that was a really cool idea. Trimcraft also do what we call Permafix tape. So this is really strong tape. It's double-sided again, but you get this red backing, and this tape is so strong. You can literally stick anything to anything with this tape. So this is Permafix. Again, you can get this from the range. This is the really cool 24mm tape. So this came out last year, and this is mainly because when you're sticking down your layers, you want a lot of kind of grip with your adhesive, but the tape's usually quite thin. So this is just kind of for quick crafting when you don't want to be spending all time sticking your layers down. This is a really cool tape to use. But I'm just going to stick with the Easy Fix today because I'm not using heavy embellishments on my card. So I'm just going to stick this layer on top again. Taking my time to line up my layers before sticking it down. So I've got, this is called mat and layering. So when you stick two layers together, you mat one layer to the next. Now I think I have got a pack of doilies. So Dovecraft do quite a lot of doilies, and I think doilies always add a really nice look to projects. Quite a few colours in here, but it's quite a nice colour to go with the card. So these are just really thin doilies, like the ones that you kind of get with afternoon tea. I think I'll probably maybe put that there for a minute, and then I wanted to use one of these toppers somehow on the card, so I might use this one. I'm just going to cut it out with my scissors. It's got this really cool torn edge across the bottom, so I think I'm just going to try and follow that with my scissors. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's supposed to look kind of torn and jaggedy anyway. Bit. So what I'll probably do is layer that maybe slightly to off center, so you kind of just see a little bit of the doily, like move the doily this far over and then have it there at the moment. It says with love at the top, so you've got really cool sentiment there. So using that really nice floral paper, I have cut 2 80s on my Cricut Maker, and my thought was that I would layer those over the top, but then what I would do is just cut out the 8 on its own and then layer that with some foam tape on top, so you kind of get a bit of some depth on that. So what I'm going to do is trim the 0 off this card. And then what I would do is, I think I'm quite happy with that now, so I'm going to go back to sticking my layers down. So I'm going to use just a bit of tape. It doesn't really matter on this because you won't see the glue underneath, and the rest of the layers will hold this on, so I'm not going to use too much tape to put this doily down, so I do want it to kind of have a bit of movement in it. So I'm going to line this up as far over to this side without it sticking over the card. I'm just going to stick that down, and then I will glue this on top. So I'm going to stick that, I'm going to line it up with this top layer here, and I'm going to line it up with the top corner, and I'm just going to stick that down, and then I'm going to just add a bit of tape to the back of my 80. If you're looking for first edition paper pads, you can go to the range. The range have a good selection of the paper pads, and you can also look on Craft Stash or Amazon. I'll put some links below so you can find this paper pad. The good thing about this Easy Fix tape as well is that you can like cut it to any size you like. Just cut that onto my finger by mistake, but I don't think anyone will notice. So as you can see, this layer here is actually sticking over the top of my card, but because the tape's so thin, you can just fold it back on itself and no one will know that it was ever sticking over the edge. So I'm just going to take my 80, oh, I want to accidentally stick it on, and I'm just going to stick it on about there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some foam tape. So Dovecraft also do foam tape, and this is just basically foam that's adhesive on either side, and so it just gives a little bit of height to your projects. So this is kind of like giving it a bit of a decoupage look. Decoupage basically means layering paper in French. So you might get different forms of decoupage. You get those buildable pads that I showed you in the paper poses video the other day. You get decoupage, which is kind of like paper mashing, and then you can make your own decoupage layers by cutting bits off dies or things you've cut on the Cricut. Basically all decoupage means is, if someone's talking about decoupage, it just means the layering of paper. I'm just going to peel off the back. I think this one is a 2mm, but you can get some really kind of chunky dot and dab do a 4mm. So you can just see the height on that. So I'm basically just going to line it up with the 8 I've already got and stick it down, so then you can see you've got a bit of height on your card. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is I have used my We Are Memory Keepers label it just to die cut a little sentiment in black that says woohoo, just for a little bit of fun and celebration. So I'm basically going to cut the words out. The label it machine is basically like a old-fashioned kind of label punch where you twist around to the letter that you want, and then you punch the letter into the tape, and it kind of like embosses it into the tape. I use it all the time. I absolutely love the labelette. It's about £20 on Amazon. Peel off the back in, and then somewhere around here I'll just put the woohoo. Make sure I put it the right way. Down. And then I generally think that no card is really ever complete without some pearls, so I've just got some Simply Creative pearls. Just pop those in the corners for a little bit of extra design. And there you go. So this is my 80th birthday card using the Bloom and Wonder paper pad by First Edition. So you can see how you can make a easy card. I think that's taken me less than 15 minutes to make that card. And I think it's really lovely for an 80th birthday. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And leave a comment below with what you think about the paper pad. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.